24, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Carry is Henderson, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now back to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39! Black 99 Philly, here we go! Detroit! Detroit!
And that'll set them back 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Akeem Hicks. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Red Ransom! Stop! 180! Red Ransom! Red Ransom! Hey, 18. Yep.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. And incomplete to open things up.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Red, up. Up. 180.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
3-19.
They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, then the spin. Going right side here, and that's complete. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. Rolling to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Lock in, lock in.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flush to his right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now Henderson. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Free safety, Clinton Dix, the man to make the play there on the defensive side. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone.
They'll look to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards there and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he is all the way up past the 25.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right.
And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there for Chicago. 51 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. This is Cohen on the toss. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Vikings. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Henderson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Fuller. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
All right, here we go. Blue landing! Blue
play action. They'll throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And almost intercepted. That would have been his third pick in this game alone. Instead, fourth down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe you want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Fourth down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Detroit! Detroit!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Back to throw. Letting one go. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Will Fuller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. Touchdown, Chicago! Cordero Patterson with officially a 103-yard return. And the Bears are in for 6.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit. Gone, gone. Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Cut!
They'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it first and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Detroit. Detroit.
He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Coleman. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On third down, it's Henderson. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports